What post-secondary education have you received? What has your career path been since you've graduated post-secondary?
Yeah, so currently I'm studying engineering sciences in the branch of aerospace engineering. Um, and I really like about the possibilities and all the huge steps that the industry is going under right now. I really like all the possibilities that I can take, and yeah, the broad path that my undergrad can take me to.
So I just recently finished my fourth year of mechanical engineering at the University of Calgary, taking a minor in mechatronics engineering. I'm still a student, but I'm currently working on my co-op. I'm working for Canadian Natural Resources Limited as of right now, working in Fort McMurray. Probably my favorite thing I've gotten out of it is, on top of learning how the world works from a scientific level, you also gain the problem solving skills to sort of dissect any sort of situation and come up with creative and interesting ways of solving those problems. And
graduated from the University of British Columbia. Graduate degree was a Bachelor of Applied Science in Chemical Engineering, specializing in process engineering. After graduation, I worked for an energy company in Calgary in a variety of process engineering and production engineering roles. And then I moved from that to more technical engineering role to Blackline Safety. And I joined as a sales engineer. So what that means is I was providing technical support to our sales team on our product. So I just sort of grew within the company, within the organization and my role. And I'm now the Vice President of Sales Enablement. And engineering, you really learn how to problem solve. And, I don't do a technical engineering role anymore, but I find I use a lot of the skills that I learned throughout my degree, as well as from my previous technical roles, to help me in my role today. A lot of every day is different. I get to be creative. I get to work with really great people, and we get to solve customer problems.
The big thing that I find with non-engineers is generally the big question in the room is, what on earth even is engineering? And so when I was in high school, sort of looking for which degree I wanted to go into, I knew that engineering sort of had a lot of technical stuff, and you get to learn how things work, and there's some problem solving. I didn't really understand at the time what it was. But I think in terms of what I enjoy about it, and sort of as I've discovered and realized what engineering really is it's a role that gives you the opportunity to take the science that a lot of researchers and scientists have built and actually apply that science and be the middleman to actually coming up with the solutions based off of other people's research and the science behind that.
That feeling of thinking that you're not enough to do something, that's something that I've struggled the most. And usually it's the thing that prevents you to move forward and to believe in yourself. So as once you overcome the imposter syndrome, which is like, yeah, just feeling that you're just not good enough for something, it allows you to explore a lot of opportunities and like explore yourself and be confident about what you do.
It really, I would say the most challenging thing for me was really learning how to manage my time and how to study properly. I wasn't a great studier in high school. I didn't really know how to do it properly, how to do it effectively. So a lot of the challenging part for me at university was learning how to do that and figuring out what works for me and my learning style.
What qualities are important to succeed in the engineering field?
One quality that's very important is to be yourself and to give your point of view in a subject. Being afraid of saying what you think or saying your opinion is it can be very tricky. But if you don't know how to express yourself, if you don't really know how to express or how to communicate your thoughts about anything, then it's not worth to have technical knowledge.
I mean, I think communication is a big important skill to have, and you know that's something that you will learn over time. No one walks into a room and is like, I'm the best presenter ever without ever presenting to anybody before. So those are skills that you will learn, and effective communication, both verbal and written, is something as well that you will learn and get better at over time. The point on prioritization, that is critical. And that, again, that's a skill you'll learn over time too. And you'll figure out how to prioritize your time, but also what on your task list is the most important thing to do. Obviously, you're going to take into account deadlines, importance, what's your return on investment, those are things that, again, you're going to learn it in the degree as you're managing yourself with your course load. But as you get into the engineering field, these are things that you will also need to balance and prioritize.
What types of jobs or industries can a student expect to be qualified for with a degree of your engineering type?
In terms of mechanical engineering jobs, generally there's quite a lot of them, especially in Alberta. From my experience, there's a lot of room in oil and gas in a lot of different fields, whether that's reliability, asset integrity. I could just keep listing them, to be honest with you. The one thing that's nice about mechanical engineering is, in my experience, it's a very versatile role that can fit into a lot of areas. And in addition to that, even outside of school, when you get your degree, a lot of engineers don't actually end up going into technical engineering roles because the skills that you get out of the educational experience and from getting the degree tend to be very applicable and beneficial to employers across the board, whether it's a technical role or not.
How important is networking in the aerospace industry? What can you consider are the most effective ways of expanding your professional network?
Networking, it's more of like not being afraid of speaking to people. I've realized in the aerospace field, people really like to talk about what they do. As I mentioned before, people is really passionate about their jobs. So a good networking space would be LinkedIn. I have found that I'm able to just like contact people there and be like, hey, I'm interested in this and this. This is my previous experience in this. I have read your resume and I have read what you've done, and I would really like you to talk to me more about it. If you're interested in getting to know how a specific work would be, networking, it's very good. It's very useful.
The stereotypes about the amount of homework true? How do you manage a life, a job, and the amount of homework? And then
so yeah, definitely engineering and the step from high school to an undergrad degree, it's huge. I would say that the workload, it's hard. However, something that's very useful with this is realizing that you're not the only one. There is a bunch of people that's going through the same things that you're going. My personal experience, it took me 2 years to actually get used to it and start seeking for more opportunities outside school. Honestly, finding time to do the things that I enjoy doing and apply my knowledge and be able to get myself out of scope of school has actually helped me in school.
I think a key thing going into it is definitely it's important to set expectations for yourself that are realistic. One of the big difficulties that I faced transitioning not just into engineering but into university as a whole is when you're in high school, the goal is everyone gets 100% and everyone is acing the tests and all that sort of stuff. And the thing is especially when it comes to engineering, the exams you get and the assignments you have and all that sort of stuff, they're not always built that way. So I think as long as you go in with the expectation that you're going to try your best and do the best you can, then that's good.
Do women stereotypically face more challenges in the engineering field?
I think you're going to have to be prepared to be in a field that is predominantly male. I think it's really just understanding who you're working with and figuring out how to communicate and how to get your voice across and how to kind of understand, but also feel confident and comfortable to be at the table.
It's very important to recognize that you deserve to be where you are. You deserve the place that you have, and being persistent and changing that part in the industry is hard. However, just by being there, you're already helping to do that change and to be more inclusive.
I guess we'll ask like all our panelists if they have like any last pieces of advice.
Especially going into first year, stick with it. Especially starting off, it can be daunting to say the least. But I'd say just stick with it until you get a good grasp of where your feet are and where you stand with all of it before leaving or any sort of thing, because it does get better. I promise you that.
And take the opportunities that you have in front of you. I think that's very important. Get involved in extracurricular activities. That's also very important. It's gonna help you to, as Liam was saying, to get to know more people, to get to expand your network and expand your horizons.
Do a really good job at the thing that is in front of you right now. Don't worry about the other opportunities. Don't worry about all the other noise that happens. Things are going to happen for you if you focus on what is in front of you and just do a really good job of that.